Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to Send Them Off. The Euros are in full swing, but we're back after a couple of weeks with one sort of last regular episode for you for the season. We've got a Euros review where hopefully we'll be welcoming back Omar and Callum, which I haven't actually asked them yet properly, but hopefully. Well, we negotiated it on air.
All right, okay.
But anyway, my name is Sam, and joining me as always, you've already heard his voice. He's coming early today. My ever-present podcasting partner, Alex. How you doing? Enjoying the Euros?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm missing quite a few of the games because of work, but you've got to win a dollar, don't you? You've got to win the dollar.
You have.
But I'm not the main event. I'm never the main event.
No.
We're joined.
That's a bit harsh on yourself, to be honest. Sometimes you're the main event. Yeah, we're taking a step back from the Euros today, and we've got another in our little series of What Football Means to Me. And we're joined by someone who's already been on the podcast before, a good friend of the podcast, Amy Clement. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you guys? All right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good.
You're in Wales top. I take it you're enjoying the Euros then?
I'm loving it.
That is quite the shirt. That's a retro one.
Is that 95?
Someone said 95, and I'm actually not, because I was actually born in 94, and I just think, shame it's not 94, but yeah. Apparently 95. Very nice.
That's clean, though. I like that. That is very nice.
I think Umbro did all the good ones, are Umbro, aren't they? Like the old school ones.
Yeah. The old ones. Nowadays, Hummel. Gotta say.
They're pretty good.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about kits. We're here to talk about Amy's football memories. But before we start, I just want to touch on the Her Game 2 campaign that Amy's involved with. Do you just want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So we launched, I think it was a month ago now, it was the FA Cup final day. And we basically started with a campaign video which showed 12 of us girls holding up comments that we have received on social media whilst talking about football. And the hashtag is Her Game 2. And we just thought that was we sort of went with loads of different ones, and we just settled on Her Game 2 because we thought it's quite inclusive. Like, it's not saying it's ours, it's saying we want to be involved as well as you guys, so that's where that came from. And it's just been a success ever since, really. We've had talks with clubs and a pub group about some featuring there. We've spoken with the news, we've been on the radio, we've done podcasts. It's been absolutely crazy for the past month, and it's only going to get busier. So it's
exciting times.
When I saw the video you did, I thought that's such a good idea, because I've seen recently a lot more females, in particular the Liberty Stadiums where we go. I've seen a lot more women, a lot more little girls coming to watch the football. I think it's great because it's like you say, it is it's your game too. It's for everyone. Football's for everyone. Absolutely. So we talk about racism, we talk about inclusivity. Why not?
For sure.
Do you know what strikes me is I've loved Emma Hayes on punditry.
We were talking about that literally earlier.
Yeah. She's been my favourite pundit so far in the Euro. Her tactical insight into the games is just something else. She was on the panel this morning or this afternoon with Rob Earnshaw and Scott Brown, and she wiped the floor with them, with all due respect.
Yeah, I bet.
She was superb to listen to. Just the fountain of knowledge. So give them a follow, Her Game 2. We're throwing our support behind it here. Send Them Off. We're definitely behind it. Give them a follow. Shall we start with some quick fire questions? We love our quick fire questions. Al, do you want to go first?
No, you've got a particular question. Have you worked out who's who? Am I going first? I guess I am. There we are. Sam's been distracted. I'll go. Don't worry. Quick fire questions. Number 1, favourite player ever?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Easy peasy. Any reason why? Quickly.
I watched Man United a lot growing up. I went to Old Trafford quite a lot. My dad used to take me and my brother, so that was kind of his era, and I thought it was the coolest thing on the planet, and he still is. So
he still is, isn't he? He still is.
He's so cool.
He's just, to me, such a big game player. He stepped up in the last 10 minutes, and people are like, "Oh, he's quiet for 80 minutes, though." I was like, "Yeah, but for the last 10 minutes, he scored 2 goals." I was like, "It's all you need, isn't it?"
I know.
And you know what? Right, he could wear a bin bag and he'd make it look good.
Oh yeah.
Just say it.
Yeah.
I would kill him to look good.
I think most people would.
I would genuinely. I'd give anything. In a similar sort of thing, favorite ever manager?
Oh, that's really hard. I mean, I'm gonna have to say Alex Ferguson. I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm neglecting the Swans here a lot, but growing
Doesn't
up,
matter.
growing up, obviously, I watched a lot of it, and I mean, what a manager! How doesn't get much better.
Top draw. He was probably one of the best I've ever seen. One of the best that's ever done it. To be fair,
for me, probably the best ever. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a sneaking suspicion I know what the answer to this one's going to be. But favorite stadium?
Liberty.
There we are. Good. I was worried you were
nice.
Old Trafford then.
It's such a nice stadium. It doesn't get enough credit. It's gorgeous.
It is. It's a bit rusty. Could do with a bit of a paint, but
it could do with a lick of paint. To be fair,
Yeah.
I think though the beauty about the Liberty is I feel like it's big, but also it sort of gives you that like fans are on the pitch. Like
I agree with that.
When the Liberty's hostile, the Liberty is hostile. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But but it's still quite a big stadium. It's a modern one, and I think it's captured a lot. I never went to the Vetch. I was a bit young.
Yes.
But I feel a lot of people like who you hear talking about the Liberty says it's sort of managed to capture a little bit of the Vetch spirit in it, and the East Stand,
bit of the North Bank in there, yeah.
Are sort of like one and the same almost. So I think they did really well with that because you don't. I mean, like everyone talks about Highbury in the Emirates just not being the same. So you never know.
I also watched a lot of rugby there, and it's a great place to watch rugby as well. You know,
it's a good rugby stadium.
Full when the rugby's on. It was full.
Nah, they never fill it. They never fill it, but it's a very good rugby stadium. To be fair.
It is.
Is it my question? Yeah, it is.
It is your question. Yeah.
What's the best game you've ever been to?
One of the best games I've ever been to is I was lucky enough to go to see Man United play Fenerbahce. Right, this is like talking way back when, and that was Wayne Rooney's debut. Imagine that. That's how old I am. Yeah,
he scored. Yeah, I was going to say he scored a hat-trick.
And he scored a hat-trick, and it's something that I've never forgotten. Actually,
yeah.
What a memory!
Claim to fame.
What a memory!
I know. I remember.
I'll take some
and I was like, where's Fenerbahce? Like, I had no idea as a kid what it meant, you know. But I knew that it was, you know, an important game, and obviously Wayne Rooney scoring a hat-trick on his debut. I mean, wow.
There we are.
I want to tell the grandkids.
I was going to say, yeah.
Literally.
Last quickfire question. Best game you watched on TV?
Oh my gosh. Ever. Oh my God. That is so hard. I'm thinking of World Cups. I'm thinking of Swans this season.
None of them games. I rule any of those games for this season out. I think this is
probably not
full season to watch.
Oh, it wasn't pretty, was it? That's a really hard question.
Well, you look, it's the last one.
I got it. Wales, Belgium, 2016.
Good shout.
Good answer.
Yeah, I remember it. It was
Robson Canu's turn. Excellent. I've just chucked the old cap. I had to do it. My hair was annoying me. For the benefit of those on YouTube.
If I cut this now, right, the continuity is going to be gone on YouTube.
It's true, yeah, it's going to be awful.
What is your earliest football memory?
That's a good question as well. I would probably say the first thing that I did with football was watch my younger brother. That was probably the first thing, because he played right from when he was tiny, and I remember him going to like an academy like workshop thing in the summer. I remember I was probably only about 8, like my brother was about 6, and we went to watch my brother play this game, and he won this trophy that was like best young player, and there's a picture of my brother, and the trophy's like almost as big as him. He was so tiny, but that's like, that's been right, you know, it's been in the family since I was young. But in terms of going to a game, I think it wasn't that Fenerbahce game, probably wasn't one of my first games, definitely, because that would have been in
not a bad early memory time.
Early 2000s. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you play for a club at all? Have you played at any football?
Yeah, I started playing at primary school, obviously, because that's what everyone does, kicking the ball around.
That's it, yeah.
We had a little squad, and we used to go to like the county championships, you know, year 5, like, you know, one of those. And then when I went to secondary school, I met some girls who were on a team in my local town, and the team's actually really good. And they've had a couple of guys who've gone on to kind of play semi-pro, which is amazing. But I played with them. I think I was 14, 15, 16. I think that was the age group. So I played for about 3 years there. So yeah, that's when I sort of really got stuck in and started to understand, what it was all about, really.
That's good. Baller, yeah, Amy Clement, baller.
Yeah, no, we had a great team actually. We were in this there was a few leagues, because obviously the ladies teams are kind of few and far between around here. I think there's probably more now, but we used to play Aston Villa ladies, Coventry City ladies, Birmingham. It was in this extra league we played in. So we played in the more local league, and then the sort of Midlands. I don't know what it used to have a special name. I can't remember what it was, but we played against girls who were really, really good. So it was quite a good standard actually, which was.
Before we move on to the next question, did you bag any goals against some of the big clubs like Villa, Coventry?
Yeah, we actually got to the final of this league, whatever it was, and we played a really cool ground in Leicester. I can't remember who we played against actually, but we did actually we had to beat Birmingham and Coventry to get there, and it was we were obviously the smallest team there, we're just a local team. But yeah, we did it up in the final. I didn't score in the final, but I did score one goal with I'm going to show you. I scored a goal outside the foot this way around.
Olivier Giroud.
That's me.
Olivier Giroud.
It was awful, but fantastic all at the same time, and I think that was quarters or something in that.
For those just listening, right? Amy Clement basically, she what she did, she came in and did she scorpion kicked it. It was mad. You need to see it. Watch it on YouTube.
Exactly.
YouTube it is compilations of Amy Clement playing on YouTube.
Just you wait.
Question number 2: biggest high as a football fan?
I think going to some of the Prem games with the Swans and winning. I think that's ridiculous. That's huge. I went to the Emirates and we had an amazing game there and we won. And I think I was with my friend and my housemate at the time. My brother came up, and it was just one of those days where you just think, this is amazing.
You scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
I've been twice to the Emirates and we won both times. I think once was just a 1-0, and I think that other time, it was the 2-0. So I that really sticks out to me actually.
You beat to some games, right? Didn't you? You beat to some games.
Yeah, been to some.
I love games like that though, because it's little old Swansea.
Literally,
to Arsenal
at the Emirates,
and taking 3 points. I just love it.
And it was a weekday as well, and there was quite a small crowd there. And I remember the stewards coming down, asking us to sit down, and everyone was, it was just such a nice atmosphere. Everyone was just having the best time of their lives, really, just on this Wednesday evening in sunny London. Yeah, it was great.
Fingers crossed. Now this season we'll have a cold Thursday night in Stoke rather than a hot sunny Wednesday in London. Fingers crossed. Fans will be back hopefully. So from the highs to the lows, what's been your lowest point as a football fan? Probably a few, because you're a Swans fan.
Yeah. Okay, where do I start? Obviously relegation was pretty rough. I remember I'd gone to the game before the game that we were going to get relegated. I can't remember.
Southampton.
Game. That is my most depressing days of football.
Southampton.
And just knowing that was it, I think I feel like that was pretty rough.
It's such a rubbish goal as well, wasn't it?
Rough moment.
Remember, it was Gabbiadini flipping. It was such a rubbish goal. It was a tap in, but it was such a scruffy tap in. I was of course that's the goal that relegates Swansea. Of course.
What amused me though was the game against Stoke. There were Swansea fans actually believing we beat Stoke something 8 or 9-0, because I think that was the goal difference. We needed to stay up, and they were genuinely believing. I don't think we got a goal that day. Actually, I don't think we scored.
We lost, didn't we? It was 1-0.
Yeah, we did. We lost the game.
Yeah.
But there we are. That was the lowest moment.
Been playoff final defeats not great either, but this year actually I just was we weren't good enough. It was
I totally agree.
There's no complaints, was there? This
No.
year? I mean, my only complaint was we lost to Brentford. My only complaint.
My complaint was I drove all the way up there and then watched us lose to Brentford. To be honest,
I'm glad.
But there we are.
Yeah.
Question 4.
This is Alex's favourite question.
Okay, go on then.
Apparently, it's my favourite question.
You asked this. This is always the one I record you asking.
Oh, is it really?
Anyway, yeah.
I haven't even noticed. Well, I'll ask it then. What's on your football bucket list?
Oh, that is a good question.
I know.
Well, I haven't been to any like in European or international games. I've been to a few stadiums abroad. Like I've been to Nou Camp and I've been to the Madrid stadium, but I would love to do that with like my team. You know, like I watched like Barcelona and Villarreal, which was amazing. But I'd love to go somewhere with Swansea or Wales. I suppose it's not something I've done before, but I think doing something like that would be amazing. I'm sure the atmosphere is just so good.
So what you're saying now is when Swansea qualify for the Champions League in the next,
you're going to go to the Bernabeu.
We'll have a send him off and friends tour. Perfect. And we'll all go. We'll get a Swansea cast boys.
We're going to get a massive Airbnb with a pool.
Yeah. Happy days. So.
See you in Madrid.
Sorted.
Let's book the tickets.
Let's do it. I reckon within 4 years, Conor Roberts will take us to the Champions League. I reckon.
Don't rule it
out. This one's my favourite question.
I knew you planned this. I knew you planned this.
I love it. It's my favourite one. It's my favourite one. Who or what is your football guilty pleasure?
Oh. As in like something that I enjoy watching that I shouldn't, sort of thing.
Yeah, or like that you're a little bit like, I'm a bit embarrassed.
I know I shouldn't, but I do, kind of thing.
Like, so we've had a few answers on this. We've had Leeds, this season. Balotelli. I've got loads, to be fair.
That's really interesting. What are yours?
I'm going to put one out there now. Neil Warnock at Middlesbrough. Because I can't stand the man, but at Middlesbrough, I just love him. I absolutely love him. You know, when he's not in a Cardiff t-shirt or like a Cardiff tracksuit, love the guy.
I think I'm gonna. This is horrible, and I can't believe I'm admitting this. I really can't believe. I hate Liverpool. Like, obviously, growing up.
You're not the only one in this podcast.
Yeah, it's possible. My dad despises. He's the Scousers. You know, he's one of those. And I actually quite like Klopp. Like, it's bad. I would love to sit at a dinner table with him.
Sam's just died.
Oh.
I'd love to sit at a dinner table with him and ask him a few questions.
What questions would you want? Right, Sam, here we go. Wait. Sam is going to be Jurgen Klopp, right? Because I know how much you love him. And you can ask.
I'm not going to do the voice.
Do the accent, please. Right,
it's more out of interest. It's more out of interest. I think it's not like I love him. I don't want him to be our manager. I think it's more that I find him fascinating. I think he's a bizarre human. I'd love to know what he has on his pizza, because he definitely has pineapple on his pizza.
Right, Sam, you're Jurgen Klopp now. Tell Amy what you have on your pizza.
Jurgen, what do you have
in your mind?
I reckon he's a meat feast kind of guy.
Do you think?
I think he is, to be fair. Yeah.
I think he puts weird stuff. I think he puts olives and pineapple on the same
tuna. He's a tuna on a pizza kind of guy, and he's
don't do it. Does that.
Do you know if I could sit down with Jurgen Klopp and ask him one question, I'd say, how come, despite the fact you quite obviously smoke 40 a day, your teeth are the whitest teeth in Great Britain?
All these questions.
Yeah, the big questions as well. Nothing about football. What do you put on your pizza and how your teeth are so white?
What toothpaste do you use? Literally. I don't know. I find them quite intriguing, and it annoys me because I really don't like Liverpool. So I'm always like, ooh, there's a news article about him. I'm going to read it.
I'm gonna read it. You buy into it, don't you?
I buy into him, and that's bad.
My guilty pleasure, if we're talking managers, is Solskjaer. I just love him. I love him. I just want to give him a cuddle. Like he's so lovely.
There, isn't it?
He is a PE teacher, isn't he? But like although I say that, and I don't mean that in a skill way, because I've said countless times that people need to give him a bit more respect, because I think every single player in that United squad has improved under him, particularly this season.
I agree.
I think he's doing something right.
What I've said about him, though, I think he's a bit too nice. He's no Sir Alex Ferguson. He played under Sir Alex.
Yeah, he
needs a bit more of a bite to be United manager, I think.
Yeah, I agree. If they're going to win something under him, he needs to kind of, I don't really know what the phrase is. Bite is right. Yes.
Bite is right.
I got a mini question along the same lines, which we're going to put this on the list of questions now, because I can't believe I didn't think of it before. So you've had your guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
If you could put one thing in like a football room 101, So like something which you banish and it's gone forever, right?
Top
What
banana
would you put
Sam.
in
Well
there?
done, Nick.
That's hard. My first thing that's come to mind is like players diving, because it's something that's like personally bothers me so much. Like when you're playing a game, and I'm like such an advocate for like kind of old school football. So all these rules are starting to piss me off. Excuse my language. Like, you know, that handball goal, was that yesterday? It was the Italian goal.
Yeah.
And like that, for me, ruins football, because what else is he meant to do there? I don't know if you've seen the goal. It literally, there's two players here, his hand's like this, it hits here. And you just think, for me, that's ruined that whole thing.
I agree with that totally.
And fun and like flowing, and like it's a sport. And some of the rules for me are starting to kind of take
the rules are going so
too far.
Yeah, they're so nitpicky and they're scrutinising football so much. It's the same with VAR. Like they're scrutinising the most ridiculous decision. I'm like, just play on. Who cares if there's that much offside?
But like I thought it was interesting. Me and Alex watched the Wales-Switzerland game together last weekend, and there was a challenge that went in, and somebody got a yellow card. I can't remember for the life of me who it was, because a fair bit of alcohol was consumed that day on my part.
It was. It's true.
But we both said 15 years ago that's not even a foul.
Oh, absolutely.
And I long for that football back.
Yeah,
I long for that kind of football where, like Gattuso now, who's been linked with the Spurs job, he would not survive in today's game. Lama will be sent off within 10 minutes of a single match.
Roy Keane, they'd be exactly the same. They were kicking lumps into each other.
I know. And there's something about it, like there's the ref blowing up for someone literally just tripping over someone's foot, like, and it's happening constantly throughout the games. And then the rhythm of the football, this has got so deep, but like it stops. And for me, that ruins what football should be about. And I'm the same as you, like that whole thing, like Nico Williams getting sent off for that handball.
That was ridiculous.
That I could not believe he was sent off for that. Yeah. It was a friendly game, like a warm-up game, and he gets sent off. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
That is that whether it's like a couple of pages of that rule book, I'd rip them out, stick them in your room, lock the door, and throw away the key.
What I will say about diving, though, one thing that sprung to mind.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. A few years ago, when Swansea were playing West Ham, Chico Flores went down. You may remember, and then Big Sam sort of turned around and pointed at him. I quite like that aspect of it, where it's sort of like a bit of banter.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I do totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And now I've forgotten what question comes next.
Sorry.
Number 6.
Number 6. Thank you very much. Right. What does the game mean to you?
Speaking from me, like now after the last year, honestly, like escapism for me, because I've always enjoyed going to the football and it's been like a family thing. But over the last year, like I've had a rubbish year because I've not been able to work at all. And it's been the one thing that I've like looked forward to every week. I've watched more like neutral games than I ever would before. And it's just been something I can chuck myself, immerse myself into, get excited about, get upset about for 2 hours. And it's been everything I've needed the last year. I don't know what I would have done instead.
I think that word for word is my answer.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Like I'm like a musician. I do like it's part time, but like
I'm like a musician.
But like, so I've not had gigs for a year.
Yeah.
And that was what I looked forward to at the weekend. You know, it was like, oh, the Swans are playing or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gigging on the weekend. Like I can't
wait. I got you.
Haven't had that for a year, so I'm just like, you know, all the football's on Wednesday. Even like,
I know,
happy days. Like,
but it would get me through. Like Monday, Tuesday, it's like great. There's football on tomorrow, and then there's a Man United Tottenham game on Thursday. Like I watched that, and it kind of was something to just kind of plan my day around a bit, like get excited about, and then obviously, you know, connect with people on Twitter and like you guys like online and stuff. Like that's been huge the last year. But I think previously, just the excitement of going to a game like that, the atmosphere and everything, it's just awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Like football for me, like I see football, I think how Sam would see me was like he looks forward to gigging. I just look forward to football. And like I'll come home from the Swans and sometimes like I'll just be flicking through the channels and I'll see on like, I don't know if in England, if you go, obviously not in England, but you've got S4C in Wales.
Yeah, I can still watch it,
Welsh channel, and there'll be some Welsh games on Scorio or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll just be watching like Carmarthen Town play Aberystwyth. Yeah. I'll just watch that just because I enjoy watching it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. totally agree with you.
Yeah, and you can be having the worst time, and it's something that you can
Just
like
forget
get
about whatever it is and
yeah, because
go.
you're interested in what's going on, and particularly over the last year, like nothing's been live or like real. It's all been like
Yeah,
Netflix
it's all been,
shows, and it's been
yeah.
nice to watch something that's live. So yeah, I think that's probably that's me.
Speaking of the last year,
Mm.
next question: what's been your favorite football moment of the last 12 months?
Peace in Cardiff, pretty nice. But
It
then
was a good day. It was a good
it
day.
was a happy
That was a good
day.
day.
Everything just sort of aligned from that day. I feel like it was a nice sort of like Jamal Lowe settled in. Everything just sort of went, oh, okay, this could be a good season. That was definitely a definite kind of point in the season. But generally over the season, I think just I've like done obviously loads on social media, so I've been able to talk to loads of people. Like you guys, like Swans Cast, like so many people. That for me, that's been a highlight because I've never done that before. It's new for me to like speak to so many different people about football. So I guess that's been a nice aspect
I
of
think
it.
for us, the same. Like we've been able to meet so many different kind of people just by doing this, podcast. And we're going to be, in future, we got so many other people like we're, planning to meet, we want to meet and stuff like that. But yeah, totally
Careful
agree.
now, Al. Careful.
Yeah,
Secret plans.
Are you dropping some secrets there?
I will kick you out of the call. No, I agree though, guys. It's been like I said to Alex the other day, I wouldn't be sat here doing a podcast if it wasn't for lockdown. Because if he'd come to me and gone, do you want to do a podcast when things are normal?
Well, I did come to you.
Yeah,
I
you
said,
did. And I said no,
like,
didn't I? I was like, oh, maybe. I like the idea of it, but I don't know if I've got like, the confidence and stuff. I just don't know, like, but yeah, lockdown sort of pushed me over the edge in more ways than one.
yeah, few directions.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a funny one, hasn't it? I know a lot of people who have done podcasts, like they've grown so much because everyone's focused their attention to online for football because they want to feel connected and they want to feel like part of something. And it's been the only way, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's hope for us yet, Sammy. There's hope for us yet.
Fingers crossed.
Are we asking who will win the Prem or the Euros, Sam? Prem.
Euros. Just go Euros.
Euros. There we are. Who's going to win the Euros, Amy?
I actually think now I've seen everyone play. I actually think Italy could win.
I really don't think Italy can be sniffed at.
I was going to say
France and Portugal, like most people. Yeah. I think they were my first things, but I don't know. There's just something about this Italy team that I'm like, no one really expected it. Obviously, we know they're a good side, but I don't think it was even in anyone's minds that they could be. I don't know. I like the thought of them winning more than I like the thought of them winning.
I really like Mancini, to be fair.
I was going to say the same thing. I like Mancini. When the groups were announced, however long it was ago, before, in the land before time, as it feels like, before COVID, but we were drawn with Italy, and I thought, maybe we could finish above them. Like, I know they're a good side, but is there really anything in them? They are on it. They are really on it, and there's such a joy to watch as well. Because I said, France and Portugal.
Yeah,
they're such a classy team to watch. I really enjoy them.
Yeah, I do. I don't know whether they can beat like the likes of France, even England, maybe if we dare speak their name. Like,
well, we can all, can't we?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Literally, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to see them win. If I'm sure it might not be the case, but I think they could.
I think they could surprise if they go a little bit further. I think they could. I think they could beat like the likes of Belgium. Like Belgium earlier today didn't.
They look rubbish.
Yeah, until the second half when De Bruyne came on. But first half, their defense is like, I mean, it's geriatric. Like you got Alderweireld, Vertonghen, and then they got Vermaelen on the bench. Like they've got an average age of about 34.
Oh my god!
Why is it when us three always talk, there's a fly near me?
Yeah,
always. I caught it the other day, didn't I, on the live?
Yeah, you did. On the live, you had it right in your hand.
Yeah, I completely derailed this. So are you going with Italy?
Yeah, I'm gonna be rogue. I'm gonna be rogue and go for it.
Not?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be laughing now when they actually win it, and no one else has said Italy, and you've said Italy.
I'm saying that.
Have we nearly finished already? Flipping heck, it's been quick, isn't it? What is your favorite football memory? It's like out of anything. If you could go back to one day, what day would you go back to?
There was one game that I went to that really sticks out, which was we played West Ham, and it was like one of their like penultimate game at Upton Park. I don't know if any of you
I was the
went.
last one, wasn't it?
Was it
Didn't
the
we play
last game?
I think it. No, that
That
was
was
United.
the last game where they had the.
No, I didn't think we were.
And
That was United.
That was a debacle, wasn't it?
And that, honestly, like I've been to, quite a few away games and stuff. And I sat like I was right behind the goal. And I've got some videos of it somewhere. I'll show you them. And I think we won like 3-1, and the performance was just unbelievable. It was like prime Swans, like stunning, amazing goals and stuff. And it was just the best atmosphere I've ever experienced at a game. Like the crowd was just amazing. If anyone was there, then cheers for that. No, it was so good. It was so good, and it was just a happy day. It was sunny, sun was out. My dad was up. His best friends, they all grew up together. They grew up in Bishopston together, and like we were all there together. It was just great. That was a really
football in the sun.
Football in the sun, but at Upton Park as well, because I don't think they've been able to, even still, I don't think they've been able to quite capture the magic of, the magic in, inverted commas of Upton Park at the Olympic Stadium.
I think it'll be really interesting next season when there's fans back.
Because they had, they qualified they nearly qualified for the Champions League this year with no fans.
They did well.
And you watch them now avoid relegation or something like that next season when the fans are back.
It's possible. It's possible.
But yeah.
Otherwise, though, I don't know. That's so hard. It's so hard. Another Man United memory would be Man United beat Liverpool. Obviously, that is epic. Like, that is a serious clash. I remember my dad saying, like, I don't know if I want to take them. Like, it's going to be a bit, a bit aggressive. It's like Swans Cardiff. It's the same thing. And Rio Ferdinand scored a header, and it was 1-0 in the end. And it was, absolutely epic. And I don't know if you've ever been to Old Trafford, but we used to drive up and you'd be sat in traffic going off Manchester for like 3 hours, and just the whole thing. That was a good.
It's an event,
isn't it? It's part of the experience.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we've come.
That wraps it up. I think. Yeah,
it does. It felt quick.
Started on United and finished on United.
Sorry about that.
To be fair,
we're a football podcast.
Yeah.
First memories was all United, so because I didn't go. Well, I think the first game I went to see for the Swans, I think I was probably about 15, so about 11 years ago. And then obviously went to the Prem, and then we obviously started going more and more because we could go to obviously I grew up in Northamptonshire, so we could go to Aston Villa because that was close. Went to Watford because that's quite close. So we started going to a few more games then. So I guess growing up it was kind of a lot of my night, a lot of Swans, but it wasn't not on TV in the way it is now. Do you know what I mean? No. You couldn't watch it as much, could you? It wasn't as accessible. So lots.
You were quite a novelty actually, because you were one of the few Swansea fans who had seen them in their away kit more than their home kit.
That's true.
And I always enjoyed watching them in away kit when I went to away games. So
I love the away games. They're so fun.
Especially this season.
Yeah.
Only lost one game, didn't we? Just happened to be the biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
What
a stat as well, to not lose in your away kit. It's not bad, is it?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
But yeah, lots of happy away days for Swans. Definitely, I've been to some good grounds, and obviously seen them at the Liberty a lot. A memorable one would have been, I think it was 5-0 loss to Chelsea. I don't know if either of you were there.
I think it was. Was that the one that who got sent off? Did John Terry get someone sent off?
I think so. It was just one of those awful games where you think, why do I do this?
Yeah. Do you know how many times I've thought that? Like, why do I put myself through this every week?
I remember my mum saying, like, well, that was a bit of a Chelsea masterclass. You're like, you think, Mum? It was awful. It was so bad. Like, it's funny that the bad ones stick out as well, isn't it?
I think the bad ones stick out just as much as the good ones.
Yeah. I've seen Swans lose a lot, I'm not going to lie.
I think we all have.
We all have, yeah. We'll see him lose a lot more as well, but there we are.
I've been to, my cousin's a massive Leicester fan, so every time Swans would play at Leicester, we would all go, and we lost every single time. But positivity.
What can you say?
That's the Swans for you, innit? That's the Swans for you. I think that brings us to the end. Thank you, Amy. We've enjoyed chatting to you. We'll have you back next season for sure.
Yeah, let's do like a pre-season big chat with the other boys.
Let's do it. We'll do a Swans pre-season. Happy days.
Why
There
not?
we are.
It's looking good though. It's looking good.
Make
Who's
it.
signing
Well, I
them?
mean, we've signed one striker, and we're looking at another one.
Two
So
more. There's
yeah,
two
two more actually. To be fair,
That's
I heard we were
right,
slashing
yeah.
5 million. 5 million quid. Flipping out.
Ridiculous.
Unheard of.
But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Do you want to
Thanks.
plug the socials again, or like?
Yeah, do I have it on my thing? Oh no, I don't. My Twitter is Amy Clement 94, I believe. And obviously, if you're interested in the Her Game 2 stuff, it's just at Her Game 2. Come and see what we're up to. There's some exciting things happening. I actually had a meeting with Swansea the other day, boys. Who were pleased to know.
Ooh.
I know, very cool.
Just sneak that one in at the end there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
I like that.
Yeah, but it might excite people, you know, if Swansea fans are watching. You know, they're. I have to just say, they are so good at all of this stuff, by the way. Like, as clubs go, they are so on top of everything compared to so many of the other clubs we spoke to. It's amazing.
What can I say?
Balance is out for losing a lot. There.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was
You know?
about to say some of the organisation on the pitch isn't quite there.
Yeah, well, they're
isn't
quite
quite up to
well in the
scratch.
offices, you know, and head
Yeah.
office.
They do well elsewhere.
Yeah,
The,
just
the
got
admin side of things, I've got it on point in Swansea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And as Jeremy Clarkson would say on that bombshell,
Sure.
we'll
One there. Yeah.
lovely. We'll leave it there. Thank you again. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of the Euros. We'll be back straight after the final, more or less that week, with our wrap up, and then we'll see you in the new season, which is exciting. I'm looking forward to a summer, to be fair, though.
Yes, oh my, nice little break.
Yeah,
Good
nice little
time.
break. So yeah, thanks for listening. Enjoy the Euros. We'll see you soon. Ta-ra.